What's up, everyone? This is the Raw Truth coming at you with another video. And this video is a response. I am responding to a video that by the Obsidian Network that you can find on YouTube, the Obsidian Media Network. And he's a guy that I know I'm friends with. We converse back and forth with each other. We talk about different ideas and stuff like that, and we talk about things that we're doing as far as podcasting and stuff. So, a big shout out for the Obsidian Media Network. One of the inspiration of me even podcasting. We talk very much, and it's telling me, you got to get this message out, by, like I said before, in the introduction of me, I've been on the streets teaching on the streets, calling out the negative behaviors of our people, whether it's black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Native American man, and Native American woman. I've always called out their bad behaviors, do it on the scale as far as street teaching, but he wanted me to expand myself. And so that's when, I start watching him, how he podcasts and put things together, and that's what I begin to do. And one of his videos, if you go to his page, the Obsidian Media Network, he has a large inventory of videos. He's building his own library because he's just as passionate as I am about, the community. Our communities all over the United States of America is suffering so much. And we always hear the term, well, the kids are bad. Why is the kids bad? The kids is doing all this behaviors. The kids is acting up. What's wrong with the kids? Back in the days, we didn't have all this. The kids aren't respectful to elders. They don't respect life. They don't respect other people's property. They're constantly emotional and stuff. And so, when you're hearing all of this about kids and stuff, one thing that I want everybody to understand is you got to look at the source of it. You got to go to the problem and look at the source of it. And the video and once again, all of his videos caught my mind, but certain videos, how it stands out and the in-depth of it, and you just, want to turn on a mic and rock on and explain your side or your opinion, based on what other people is saying too as well. See, me, I don't like to speak from just what I'm saying. I'm the type that believes that majority rules. So if majority of black people is acting a damn fool, then we in trouble. You see what I'm saying? So a video that I'm responding to is, it's not our responsibility to mentor your thug spawn. Let me say that again. I'm going to say it slowly. It's not our responsibility to mentor your thug spawn. Me and him, the owner of this channel, we talk a whole lot, and basically, what him and I see, and not only him and I, but majority of black men and even black men starting to wake up to understand is that we have an epidemic in our community. Our community has been taken over because of the poor decisions of the men that black women have chosen. Now understand this. The times of way back in the days when things was decent or okay. We have in that nation way back then where our women were given away in marriage. Who gives this woman away? she was given away in marriage by who? By a father. Why? Because the father validates that woman. Not only that, if a good man comes into the picture and wants to be with that woman, he may have approached the woman, but he dealt personally with the father. The father will see how he carries himself. He will see the morals and responsibility and accountability that he has. He will see if he can take care of his daughter. He will see if problem situation comes, how does he handle it? How when the storm comes, is he's going to be the eye in the storm and be calm while everything is haywire like a tornado? And so the father is looking at all these things because he thinks logically, and therefore he knows that he better be a logical person. It used to be that. And when that predicament was taking place and that institution, that system was taking place, majority of these women were ending up with good men. Men who were leading the homes, men who know how to handle problem situations, men whenever the storm comes in that household, he knows how to handle that without losing his cool, without domestic violence, without any of those things. He knew how to do it because he was a man who is heading his house. Now, there was a plan to take away that warrior, and take away that soldier, and take away, that man who was a strong man. And one of the ways of taking away that strong man is you have to institute a system to take that away. Now, if you institute a system that makes him invalid, then therefore you can move him out of the household. Because see, once again, it was a father who validates the daughter. And when the father validates the daughter is automatically confident. She has high self-esteem, and she knows who she is, and she knows her purpose. She knows what she has to do. So when the system was instituted, you could check Paul Moynihan welfare report. When they instituted that welfare report, the welfare, and our ladies can get, our sister can get food stamps, she can get medical, she can get cash assistance just to take care of a house that men couldn't get. And so when she began to get that, she realizes, hey, I can live good without a man. So what did I do? Well, understand this. Just because the system put that in motion did not mean our sisters can take it. See, they took it. They took it willingly. They wasn't seduced to taking it. Nah, because those sisters knew. Remember, they were the ones who were leading, who were the women, doing the right things, making the decisions and coming out right with the decisions because they sat under their husbands. But now they ain't got to sit under husbands no more. So what did they do? After taking the cash assistance, the programs that helped them with heat and everything like that was instituted, slowly but surely they begin to feel the independence. And understand the definition of independent that they're thinking of is being not needing a man, or really not needing the black man. And so when they begin to not need the black man for any doggone thing, what tends to happen? Now they are in control of their sexuality now. Now it's what is called exploring their sexuality. That's a nice way of saying they begin to whore around. And when they're whoring around, they begin to not care who is entering inside of them, who is putting their penis in their vagina, or as some folks said, their dick in their pussy. They didn't care, because as long as they are satisfied with their sexuality and they're validating themselves with their sexuality, it doesn't matter the man. And most of the time, majority of the time, it was a man who was no good, because as soon as she got pregnant, she was going to get taken care of. So therefore, the welfare system has taught our sisters that you could be as irresponsible as you want to be. Well, we're going to still take care of it, which is why today our sisters can have 5, 6, 15 kids. Lady had 15 kids. And 15 kids, she was given a 6-bedroom home. Isn't that something? Why, a black man can have 16 kids and consider deadbeat no good. Imagine that. And so as she began to explore her sexuality and whore around and start having these kids, I want you to understand the breakdown of it. We're talking about, the video that's titled, "It's Not Our Responsibility to Mentor Your Thug Spawn." They're taking on the responsibility of opening up their legs to these men. They taking the responsibility to allowing all these men to come inside of them. To shoot their load inside of them. And so now there's no father in the house. Father cannot validate the daughter, so the daughter needs something to validate her. And what's the biggest validation our women have? Is their sexuality. I mean, you see it all the time. What do I mean by seeing it all the time? They believe that they have the ass and the tits on lockdown. Nobody can have an ass and tits like the black woman. Let a white woman have ass and tits. Oh, she got breast implants. She's trying to look like a black woman. Let a Chinese person, a woman, or a Japanese woman have a big butt and tits. All of a sudden, oh, she tried to be like me, because they want their sexuality to be number one, because they are so sexualized. And that's stemming from the 60s. It slowly started in the 60s. In the 70s, from the 1890 all the way to 1960, there was 2-parent homes of 87% or more. Now it's 70. Now it began to drop 63% in 1973. Excuse me, and then from 73 all the way up to now it's minus 74. Minus 74%. 74% of homes fatherless. Now think there's a whole lot of homes that daughters aren't being validated by their fathers. And what's not being validated will always seem to seek out a source that will be negative, that will validate her. Meanwhile, as she thinking that it's validating her, it's actually stripping her away and making her a lesser value. So now we got a bunch of women roaming around who has no value whatsoever. No value whatsoever. But yet, they can reap the benefits and reap the rewards of being invalidated and making poor excuses and blaming on the person that they think is the most to be blamed upon. And it's the men who actually has no idea, or had no responsibility in doing the things that he's being accused of. Because how they love to generalize it. Black women love to generalize it when it comes to us men. But let us say black women, oh, you generalizing it, but they've been doing it for the past 30, 40, 50 years on television. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing that like crazy to us. And it's something that we all have to take a look at when it comes to our women, that they are responsible for their choices. They are held accountable for their choices, whether they like it or not. It's going to be in part 2 to this, because I'm gonna have to get a little bit deep in this. The Obsidian Media Network, he went deep in this. but I want to go over some areas and stuff just to zero in, home in on a lot of situations that we can relate to as far as our community. That way we can know the ins and outs and be edified in education. I always want to edify my people. So I'm gonna come back with part two to this. Stay tuned. The raw truth here.